All right, so if you've followed Biden's transition, there's one word you've heard a lot.
Unity, unity,
Unity.
unity, unity.
But after all that went down after the Trump presidency, is this unity thing for real? And what does unity even mean? Here at Playbook, we've come up with our own definition. Brian, you explain it.
Okay, so we've got basically three types of unity in American politics. One is the most common one, which is the legislative process, bipartisanship. Two, does the public support your policies? And then the third type of unity is being unified around national ideas or symbols.
Got it. Thanks, Ryan. So we now know unity can be measured through bipartisan legislation, aka when Republicans and Democrats get along. But let's go back a bit and find out when in recent political history there was unity. It starts post-World War II, when the US government is in a full-on honeymoon phase. Bipartisan legislation is at an all-time high, the post-war economy is booming, and Americans seem to be pretty united. Minus the mass civil rights violations, the Southern Dixiecrat exodus to the Republican Party, and Watergate, things are pretty good. Things start to change in the 90s during the Clinton White House, when Newt Gingrich becomes Speaker of the House. Ryan, you were there. Break it down for us.
A big turning point comes in the Clinton years. That's when you have open warfare between the parties. Multiple investigations are launched against the Clinton administration. And by the end of the Clinton era, the idea of political unity in American politics was pretty damaged.
And this continues through the Obama presidency, when Republicans essentially vow to block anything and everything that Democrats and Obama put up.
So in 2008, Obama really adopts unity and bringing the country together as a core campaign promise. And probably the biggest lesson he learns in his first term is he was wrong about a lot of that.
This gridlock then does a nice 180 party flip after the 2018 midterms, which brings us back to Biden and this old school unity stuff. For Biden, the idea of unity is real because he's lived it. See, he came into Congress in 1973 at the height of the Watergate investigation, when Republicans and Democrats were actually able to agree what a president did was wrong. He formed strong alliances with the old guards of the Senate on both sides, and became known for working across the aisle. Back then, the Senate was almost exclusively white men, and Biden's idea of working across the aisle still meant he was talking to people that looked just like him. It was a completely different time in American politics. But in 2009, the country is in a full-fledged economic crisis, and Congress is in the middle of a fiery negotiation over a stimulus bill. Sound familiar? The two lead negotiators, you guessed it, Vice President Biden and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell.
One of the reasons Obama picked Joe Biden was that he could go to the Senate and cut deals and work with Republicans. Well, that doesn't go so well. In the end, they get 0 votes from Republicans in the House and just 3 Republican senators. And that sets the tone for the rest of the Obama presidency.
And that leads us to now, in the heart of Biden's first 100 days. Democrats are again in negotiations over a massive stimulus bill with House Senate Minority Leader McConnell. Meanwhile, Biden is signing a whole pile of executive orders with a progressive tilt. So how does all of this affect Biden's utopian dream for unity? Well, what it means is that the balancing act between what Biden says and Biden does is about to get very tricky.